Alright, today I've got a little homework for you. Create some melodies. I've got 3 chord progressions here that we're going to use to create a melody over. We're going to use the C major scale. Right here in the top is our C major scale. And that's what we will use to create our melodies. And here is our first chord progression. We have a C chord, an F chord, a G chord, and we close out with a C chord. So let's see what this sounds like. What I like to do is just play the chord progression and see if anything creative pops out. Alright, that was the first one. And as you see, I just kind of went up and down the C major scale and see, just to see what I could create with that. And there's a few interesting ideas in there. And at this point, if I'd practice over it a little while, and after a while, a solid melody would start really ringing through. And at that point, I'd come over here and I'd start tabbing it out. Most likely, this is where you're going to have the trouble when you do something like this. Most likely, you're going to have trouble at first figuring out the rhythm notation. But realize that most of your melodies are going to have fairly easy rhythm. Lots of quarter notes, maybe a few eighth notes, and some half notes, and maybe even a whole note here and there. So if you have an understanding of those 4 notes and their value, you should be okay. Of course, you can always leave room for pause and add a rest. But I want to leave that up to you. Now, I'm not going to tab mine out because I want you to do your own melody. Again, we only have 7 notes here that we're working with. 7 different notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then back to C. So those are your notes. And, if you really have no idea about the rhythm notation, let's go down here. Let's go set that as a quarter note. And you can either print this out, or if you use the PowerTab program, the PowerTab editor, that's fine too. But you can just print it out and on the blank staff there, add your notes. A good easy way to start out would be just straight quarter notes. And just create, something crazy. But the choice is ultimately just yours. Have fun with it. And don't be shy. Go ahead and try something crazy, something simple. And remember, a lot of music's very basic and simple. And you don't have to know 30-second notes and all the little details of all the music. Okay, let's look at our second chord progression here. I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to doodle along with it. All right, pretty cool, pretty cool. The music just kind of comes to you sometimes, um, and you don't have to really sit there and think about it too much. Your ears will want to go places, and if you notice on a lot of these, I'll begin close to a C note or end on a C note. It's all the chord progression will tell you what to do. The melodies are built in there. There's a zillion melodies you could play over these that will sound good, and it's just up to you for you to hear the melody in your head and to be able to transcribe that onto paper. All right, let's take a look at our last chord progression. We got a C, D minor, E minor, and F chord progression. All right, and that is another example of what you can do with it. So we have 3 chord progressions in the key of C, all of them a little different, and those notes from that C major scale will work absolutely wonderful with this. So your homework assignment is to create some melodies with these chord progressions. I've got this printout for you and it's ready to go. So go for it, and hopefully you'll come up with the next big hit.